Okay, Ms. Hall. You all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. Mm. Okay, so good evening and welcome to Crawford Lawn Middle School's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Long Go Team to order at 5:43 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now take roll.
Okay, Ms. Hall, are you present?
Present.
Ms. Kruger, are you present? Ms. Kruger?
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Tucker, Dr. Tucker, I'm sorry.
Present.
Myself, Harriet Dionese is present. Ms. Barnes, are you present?
I'm present.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ogletree, are you present? Mr. Sykes, are you present? Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 present, 2 absent. We have a quorum.
The team will only be able to take action if there is a quorum present. Is there a quorum present?
Yes.
Yes, there is a quorum present. Okay. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and it is in the chat, it's in the box as well. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I approve.
A second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstained. Thank you. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections? If there are no corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
A second. A second to approve.
I second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. A or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Don't worry about it.
Any abstentions, please say abstain. All right. So now we will move on to our discussion items on our agenda.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we will have a major focus on our 2025-2030 school strategic plan development. APS 25 to 2030 strategic plan. Who are we? We are Atlanta Public Schools. We are Atlanta's public school system. Why we exist? To educate and empower Atlanta students to shape the future. A community of believers getting back to the basics. I'm going to give you time to read this information. We have reviewed this in a previous meeting, but I will give you all time to read this information as far as our strength is our team. Our responsibility is shared. Our system is efficient and effective. We are strengthening our instructional core. We are caring for every child, and we are sparking student curiosity. So I'll give you about 1 minute to read each one of these areas and indicators of how we will do this. And as you read, this is just some of the strategies that we can not only embark on at Long Middle School, but as a district to get our scholars to the level that we will not want them to be, not only focusing on academics and instruction, but also focusing on the whole child. Please let me know if I can move on to the next slide. May I proceed? Okay, next slide. Goals and key performance indicators. By 2030, we will increase the percentage of third grade students score proficient or above. And again, this is the district overall. This is just a sample of how the KPIs that we will be focusing on tonight look. But at the same time, it gives you the overview of the goals across the district. So as you can see, for third grade, we're really focusing on the proficient above and ELA. As a district, we would like to increase by 20 percentage points by 2030. For middle school, yes, literacy is a goal that we all have across the board, but at the same time, at the 8th grade level, we're looking to increase student proficiency in the area of mathematics by 20 percentage points by 2030. And for our high school overall, we're looking to increase the students meeting at least one CCRPI, college and career readiness indicator, by 20 percentage points. Now we will move on to the Go Team strategic plan development. Now in front of you, you will see images of the development of the strategic plan. Of course, we look at our mission and vision first, and then we look at the goals of the organization. That also is looked at when we look at the focus areas, objectives, key performance indicators. That is under the governance umbrella. And then we look at the management piece where we focus on the strategies and actions that we'll take. So when you look at this, what is our purpose? What do we do? What is our picture of the future? What results do we want to satisfy our stakeholders' needs? Then we're going to look at what are the main focus areas or the pillars of excellence of our work. What continuous improvement activities are needed to get results? Also, how do we evaluate performance to know if we are achieving the results we want? And then we're going to look at the strategies and actions. What high leverage strategies will lead to the desired results, and who will do what and by when? Again, tonight, our major focus is the mission and vision piece and also the goals, but at the same time, we will lean into the work of those focus areas and our objectives. School strategic plan overview. The purpose. The purpose of this overview is to cascade the district's strategic plan to the school level while grounding our focus in the school's continuous improvement plan, or the SIP. This will create alignment, reduce confusion, and simplify the efforts of the school. Also, the timeline. Our school's 2030 strategic goals and objectives should be updated, approved, and ranked by January 2026. Schools will focus on the strategies as part of the FY27 budget and continuous improvement plan process. Here are three key resources that we're going to use for our review. We'll look at our 2020 to 2025 school strategic plan. We'll also look at our 25-26 continuous improvement plan goals. And we'll also look at the school data sheet or the key performance indicators that have been provided for our school. Now, this is the process. We have actually started in our first business meeting where we actually reviewed the data, both MAP and Georgia Milestones data. Next, we're going to align the mission and the vision and purpose. At phase 3, we'll confirm the 2030 goals. We'll create the SIP goals to 2030, and we'll identify additional goals. At phase 4, we'll identify 2025 to 2030 strategic objectives. We'll reflect on the 2020 to 2025 strategic plan alongside review and discuss additional objectives going forward. And at phase 5, we'll approve our strategic plan and rank our strategic objectives for fiscal year 27. Currently, we're at business meeting number 2, and with this meeting, we'll review the data or the school KPIs. We'll align the mission, vision, and purpose, and we'll also confirm our 2030 goals. We will then follow up at business meeting 3, where we'll identify the 25 to 2030 strategic objectives. And at business meeting 4, which is our budget allocation meeting, we'll confirm and prioritize our strategic plan. Now, again, we're currently at business meeting 2, where we'll do the review of the data, align the mission, vision, and purpose, and confirm our 2030 goals. And we'll create SIP goals for 2030 and identify any additional goals if needed. Now for our data review. In front of you, you have the key performance indicators that have been set for C.W. Long Middle School. Now, with these indicators, you have focus areas. You also have categories that we will look at. In addition, you will see the matrices that will be used to determine if our current strategies are effective. We have our current KPI, so that is our data that shows where we are currently. You will see the 2030 goal changes and also the goal for 2030. So this time, I'm going to allow you all to review the KPIs for C.W. Long Middle School. And as you're reviewing this document, I want you to think about the following questions. What do you notice? What are your wonderings? Are we currently on track? Is there any specific subgroup performance gaps? And outside of the instructional core, what could be a focus area? So this time, I'm going to give about 2 minutes. The time is now 5:54. I'm going to give about 5:56 for you all to review the data that's been placed in front of you so we can begin our discussion. And again, the guiding questions are, what do you notice? What are your wonderings? Are we currently on track? Are there any specific subgroup performance gaps? And outside of the instructional core, what could be a focus area? And also, as you're reviewing, if you have any questions of this data, please feel free to ask them. Okay, you would have about 45 more seconds. Okay, this time, are there any questions in regards to the KPIs that have been placed in front of you? Remember those questions, those guiding questions that are also on the screen. So at this time, we can begin a discussion in regards to the KPIs or any questions that you all may have.
I did have a question.
Mhm.
I was just trying to make sure I was seeing it right. Up under that second column, we are strengthening our instructional core subgroup proficient students with disabilities.
Mhm.
What is percentage of students with this? Can you read it?
That says the percentage of students with disabilities scoring proficient and above on end of grade milestones exam. So this is actually all exams.
Okay, so when we talk about disabilities, are we just talking about any SWD student?
We're talking about those students who are in full inclusion classes and resource classes. So it's
Okay,
those
okay,
students in units.
okay, okay.
And all of this is pertaining to the GMAS. I don't see anything in regards to the GAA. So all of this information is pertaining to the Georgia milestone.
Okay, and I
And
was looking at the attendance. So we're at 50, that's 50.5, right? So we need to go up 15.5.
And there's a difference because we look at ADA because right now I will say with the ADA, eighth grade is about 91.8. But there's a difference between the ADA and the CCRPI attendance. This attendance right here deals with the number of days and enrollment. So a student is chronically absent. So there's a difference. So right now you have your CCRPI attendance, and that is what this is looking at. So it deals with the number of days a student is on roll and things of that nature compared to just coming one day and automatically being accounted for. So there is a difference in regards to the CCRPI and the ADA. And I know that you all are really looking at ADA, but overall, all that plays a major role. And you will see on the goals that have been set once we get to the next screens, there's an area where I've put ADA because I know a lot of times when we discuss data, we look at the ADA, but I've also aligned that with the CCRPI. So goals have been set for both.
Then I was looking at the enrollment. So from 627 to 900. So, and we have a couple of years to reach that. So is that going to be, you know how we have the goal at the end of the year that we have to meet? Is that kind of like our hard line goal, or is that a projected
This is
number?
a projected goal. This is
Okay.
a projected goal only. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for those questions, Ms. Hall. Are there any others? And also I want to jump in because if you look at the school climate, currently we are at a 2-star. And that is based off of surveys, both the parent, the students, and the faculty and staff. But we are about 7/10 points away from being a 3-star school. So right now, we are currently, because we were off before then, but we're about 7/10 of points away from being a 3-star school.
So is there anything that we can be doing? Because when I went and I looked at it myself and I saw it, because I was looking at the results from the survey and looking at each number and looking at the things that were said, the responses. So is there anything that we can be doing within the school to kind of like, push it a little bit?
I think one of the major things is especially, and if you go down to, I'm looking for the question because I was student and staff relationships. If you look at that question right there, that question alone focuses on school climate. And if you look at that, do you notice where we are with the percent of students feeling comfortable going to most or all of the adults in the school for help?
Put your mouse over it. I can't see. Okay.
That's 35.7%. Questions and such and engaging with students and building relationships, that will help that. Even if those conversations and dialogue, because oftentimes when you take a survey, you're looking at what happened that day or that week and not in totality. So even when we're doing surveys, we have to be mindful of the totality and not because from the kids' view, oh, Ms. Hall, she called my parent, so I'm gonna give a 1 because I don't like her anymore. So making sure we're mindful with that, not only with the students, but also the staff and even with parents. And I think that will be a big push overall, that we have to look at the totality and not just one incident or one occurrence. Because even with the students, they have 6 teachers. But if you base your survey results, or if you take the survey and you focus on the one teacher who you may not have the best relationship with, then hence you may get a score overall like 35.7. So just making sure we have those conversations and dialogue about totality and not just one situation. I think that will really help the climate. But at the same time, attendance is part of that. And when I say attendance, faculty attendance is a part of that. So even be mindful as adults that if we can come, and it's not absolute, we must miss an entire day, that's factored in also.
I just had a question going back to the student climate.
Mm-hmm.
36 point, is that 35 or 36?
35.7.
Okay, so that I would like to know what questions they asked as far as when they did the survey, because I just really feel like that's really low. I think we have a really positive student climate, and students are not afraid to come, to certain teachers, or just speak out on anything that's happening.
Okay, Ms. Kruger,
I don't
and
know
I
what
will do
questions they
that.
ask. Maybe
I
the questions were like,
will I will make sure that teachers get the questions that are asked of the students. So if I can go in and if those can be pulled, I will make sure, because again, we see it one way, but then you see the students' response. So we may just even ask them, what do they think a good relationship is? Because what's a good relationship to us and what we think may not be a good relationship to them. So just even making sure we have a clear understanding, what do you feel is if a relationship, because I'm going to be transparent. Some students may just not feel comfortable talking to anyone other than their parent. And so if that's the case, regardless of the situation, as a student, I'm going to give a low score because I feel like the only person I want to talk to is my parent. So even having those conversations and dialogues with the students will help them. Okay, are there any more questions? And remember the notice, the wonderings, are there any wonderings? Are we on track? Are there any specific subgroups? Are outside of the instructional core, what could be a focus area? And I will say a major focus area that we are pushing is parental involvement. Because right now, and this is just me looking at the data that I do have and the information I've been able to look at, not only things that we currently have that you all are privy to, but even embargo information. We are making moves and games, but in order for us to get to that next level, we're going to have to have a constant parental engagement to ensure that there's that connection between home and school, because we've all been middle school students before. And sometimes that information is not relayed to the parent for certain reasons. And we need to make sure that parents are involved so they will have that information, but at the same time, have it from adults and not from children. So I think one of our major pushes is parental involvement and engagement. Now I'm going to move to the next slide, which is actually our alignment of our mission and vision and purpose. Who are we? We are Atlanta's public school, while we exist to educate and empower Atlanta students to shape the future. Now we will decide if we'd like to update our school mission, vision, and purpose statements. We will use the next slide and a combination of the next two slides to display our school's current mission and vision, and we will lead this, and that will allow us to lead our discussion. We're going to share the current school mission and vision, and you all will be asked to hold up fingers to indicate the level of satisfaction with the current mission and vision. A 5 means you love it, and a 0 means you strongly dislike. And we will be able to proceed with the discussion based on the team feedback. So again, a 5 is that you love it, and a 0 means you strongly dislike. And then we will proceed based off the feedback given by the team. In front of you, you will see our current strategic plan. It holds our mission and vision. Our mission, Crawford W. Long Middle School, cultivates a community of lifelong learners and leaders that are empowered to globally compete and access future opportunities. And our vision is to build a community of compassionate innovators, creating opportunities for themselves and others. And again, we have our strategic priorities and initiatives, our school strategic priorities, and our school strategies to meet those priorities. Here's our guiding question. Does our current mission and vision align with these statements? Do they align with the statement of who are we? We are Atlanta's public school system. And also, do they align with why do we exist? To educate and empower Atlanta students to shape the future. So now, using the 5 means you love it and a 0 means you dislike. Based off of those guiding questions and also Who are we and why do we exist? Please look at our current mission and using, again, from 5 to 0. 5 meaning you love it, 0 meaning you dislike it. Please use your hands to show your like for our current mission in alignment with APS. Who are we and why do we exist? And I'm sorry, the light went out, so okay. Miss Delnice, are you Mr. Okay, so I have 5. Right now, I'm seeing all 5s. Okay, so we're looking at if we love our mission. Now, please let's look at our vision. Our vision is to build a community of compassionate innovators creating opportunities for themselves and others. Again, we're going to use the same protocol. 5 if you love it, 0 if you dislike it, and anything in between. Our vision is to build a community of compassionate innovators creating opportunities for themselves and others. Okay, I said 5, 5, 5. Okay, so right now for our mission and vision, it seems as if we've received 5s for both. We're going to move to the next slide. Now, although we put a 5 for both, are there any proposed changes to the school's mission and vision? Is there anything
Yeah.
that we could?
Ms. Mccall, the one thing that and it's a small detail, but the order in which we say preparing our students for college, career, and life, is that right?
That's the districts.
That's the districts.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, all right, never mind then.
Because you wanted to change the order,
Yeah,
life, college,
and
and career?
life, career, and college, because not
Okay.
everybody goes into careers that they need college for, especially nowadays. It's expensive. Trade schools aren't a bad idea for a lot of people.
I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but that's
Trade
the
schools.
And that's why I think our mission is and I'm just going to look at our mission that we have for the school because it's grounded as far as learning forever, regardless, because you don't have to go to college to learn. But at the same time, you don't have to go to college to be a leader. And I think that is focusing on all of our scholars, but at the same time, with that, we're still focusing on them to being able to compete globally and at the same time access opportunities. So those opportunities could be in life, they could be in a career, or it could be in college, but overall, we're not focused on the location. We're just more so focusing on the actions to allow them to be successful. So now, are there any proposed changes to the school's mission and vision here based on our discussion? Okay, it seems as if we don't have any proposed changes. Now, we're going to confirm our 2030 goals. We're going to extend our continuous improvement plan goals to 2030. And we're also going to identify, are there any additional goals for the strategic plan beyond those identified? If so, we will capture those goals. And I do apologize. I think my camera just popped off, so I do apologize. But we're going to identify if there are any additional goals for the strategic plan beyond those identified. If so, we're going to capture them. No more than 1 or 2 additional goals will be added. Now, and I think we discussed this when we were looking at our KPIs. Now, the goals that we have in front of you are our goals from our continuous improvement plan. And our first goal is focused on literacy. And this is for our current goal, but at the same time, it's extended to 2030 based off the strategic plan goals. Our first goal is the percentage of students in grades 6 through 8 scoring proficient or above in ELA as measured by the Georgia milestones will increase by 5% from 13.8% to 18.8% by May 2026. Now, if we look at that goal and we extend it to 2030, by 2030, the percentage of proficient and above learners as assessed by the Georgia Milestones EOG, ELA will increase by 20.5% from 13.8% to 34.3%. Our subgroup goals for EL will increase by 10.5% from 5.9% to 16.4%, and students with disabilities will increase by 10% from 2.9% to 12.9%. And again, that is our current goal for May 2026, which is to increase by by 5% to 18.8, and by 2030, we would like to see overall our student score proficient and above in ELA will increase to 20.5%. I'm sorry, to 34.3%. And our subgroups again, EL will increase by 10.5% to 16.4%, and students with disabilities will increase by 10% to 12.9%, and that's ELA. I will say this is for 2030, but right now, we are pushing the mark. And I'm saying that I have things that you all are not privy to. We are closer than you all think. So right now, if you look at that, that is a 5-year increase by 5% each year will get us there and beyond. Now, again, these are key performance indicators. So we are focused on the strategies that will get us here. Again, for our math numeracy goal, the percentage of students in grades 6 through 8 scoring proficient or above in mathematics as measured by the GMAS will increase by 5% from 13.1% to 18.1% by May 2026. By 2030, the percentage of proficient and above learners as assessed by the Georgia Milestones in mathematics will increase by 20.5% from 17.3% to 37.8%. And our subgroup goals, EL will increase by 10% from 13.7% to 23.7%, and students with disabilities will increase by 10% from 2% to 12%. Now we're looking at our attendance. Now this goes back to the question that was asked when we look at chronically absent students. Now, as you can see, I have a goal for ADA, and there's also a goal for CCRPI. Our goal by May 2026 is to increase our ADA by 5% from 88.3 to 93.3% by May 2026. And to increase our CCRPI attendance rate by 5% from 50.5 to 55.5 by May 2026. By 2030, the CCRPI attendance rate will increase by 15% by ensuring chronic absenteeism as determined by the Georgia Department of Education does not exceed 10% days absent for students enrollment period greater than 30 days. So students that are enrolled greater than 30 days, we want to make sure their absenteeism does not exceed 10% of their days of enrollment, with an emphasis on the following subgroups. For our African American students, from 47% to 62%, and for our Hispanic students, from 75% to 90%. And again, this is our CCRPI attendance rate. Currently, right now, school-wide, our ADA is at about 90.1. So right now, we're trending as far as our ADA, and we can possibly have that 5% increase to 93.3 by May 2026. Now, we've looked at our strategic plan, and we've also looked at our KPIs, or our key performance indicators. Our next item on the agenda is to look at the following question. After reviewing our current strategic plan and our KPIs, are there any additional goals we would like to include with our 2030 SIP goals for the 2025-2030 strategic plan?
No, I think those are good enough. I think those are good.
Ms. Kruger, Ms. Delnice, Ms. Barnes, what do y'all think? Do you think there are any additional goals that we need to possibly add? Again, right now we have 3 goals that focus on our literacy, numeracy, and attendance.
I believe that those goals are set in place and we are right on the right track.
I agree as well. I think it's well for the rest. I'm ready.
I'm good with those
Okay, and I would like to add, we also have a goal for parent engagement that we have embedded within, just to increase the number of students that are engaged, but that is already embedded with our continuous improvement plan. Okay, so if there are no proposed additional goals, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Strategic planning will help you fully uncover your available options, set priorities for them, and define the methods to achieve them. Robert J. McCain, I'm sorry. At this time, are there any questions? Okay. Ms. Hall, do I continue or do you have a portion?
Oh, no, this is me. I do apologize. So, do we have any announcements?
Well, I just moved to the principal's report if it's no announcement. Okay.
So, thank you. Sorry, I moved on too far.
Okay. We have some great things going on here at Long Middle School, and as we continue, we will continue to have not only activities for our scholars, but also to engage our families. But I think our first item that will be coming up will be October 28th, and that is our 25-26 Picture Day. Of course, last year we had our school yearbook, and we will continue this school year. So all parents, please make sure your scholars come dressed to impress. On October 28th, 2025, we will have our Picture Day. I will say that this will not be the only day. We will have a day for clubs and organizations alongside makeups, but our first official day for pictures will be on October 28th, 2025, and I think that is next Tuesday. So please make sure parents, your students come dressed to impress for our Picture Day. Also, we will have a night full of fun for our families at our C.W. Long Middle School STEAM-A-Ween night on October 30th, 2025. This event, and I do apologize for the blurriness of the image. It has been sent out and it is posted on our school website. But this event will not only allow our students to engage in STEM activities alongside our Bills Lab teacher, Ms. Porti, and our STEM coordinator, Mr. Murphy, but also they will be able to engage with their families. But of course, we will be having other sweet treats and other opportunities for you on that night. So families, please come out as we would like to engage you, but also just spend some time with our families on that night. Also, staff, faculty, and staff members, please feel compelled if you would like to bring your own children to this event. So again, we have Picture Day coming up October 28th, and we also have our STEAM-A-Wing coming up on October 30th. Also next week, those students who have been focused on the ABCs, that's attendance, coming to school, behavior, making sure they're allow their teachers to teach, but at the same time, see the curriculum. That's the part we're focusing on. They're coming in and they're doing what they're supposed to do. We will have a special treat for them on next week also. So those students, we like to recognize all students, but at the end of the day, we do have to recognize those students who are giving that extra push. So we will have students that will be recognized next week for the ABCs: attendance, behavior, and coming to school and curriculum. And also we have been acknowledging each month our students who are coming to school each day. So parents, thank you for sending your scholars out. The first month we did send out an email of certificates for our families. So parents, please be on the lookout. We will be having some incentives for parents coming up very soon in the months of November and December. Ms. Barnes, I do see your hand is raised.
Yeah, this kind of totally off the topic, but for Picture Day, are they allowed to wear anything besides the uniform? Because I'll be with the uniform.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
okay,
We really wanted to push, that first semester, them getting acclimated to the uniforms and making sure they are in them. But we will be incentivizing because I know, for example, eighth grade, they usually do their incentives if they come, if a certain percentage of the students have on uniforms, one day will be a Jean Friday. So grade levels have already started incentivizing students as a grade level for wearing their uniforms. But most definitely, second semester, we're going to be pushing some additional incentives, and we may be looking at possibly doing something creative on certain days of the week for the students.
and this is gonna be just for the yearbook, not for the senior picture, right?
No, actually, There will be another date pushed out, like I said, in November. There's another date for, I think, 8th grade pictures and the clubs and organizations. But for school-wide, the majority of the school, October 28th is the date. But 8th
Okay.
grade will receive their information for their grade level pictures in November.
Question, I'm done.
Okay.
So y'all for the children after the fact, because my baby's been having student of the month, and they bring me the certificate after the fact. So they just only in school for them.
I'm sorry,
Can attend that.
it broke up the first portion, Ms. Barnes. Could you repeat that?
Y'all recognize kids. So my baby's had student of the month 2 months, and I was like, I didn't know anything about it. So is that just for the students inside the classroom?
Yes,
Y'all do that?
yes, we actually have, every grade level has a town hall every month. So
Okay.
that's when they're recognized. It's almost like a pep rally for the grade level when you focus on academics and behavior. And that's just to show the students. But of course, when we have our awards day, that will be that largest ceremony for parents. But this is just a student-led town halls by the grade level administrators each month.
Okay.
Mhm.
No problem.
Well, I'm sorry, for each first Friday.
First Friday. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Also, again, congratulations to our very own Miss Apostolis, who's a finalist for APS Teacher of the Year. Unfortunately, there have been some changes as far as the number of individuals that can attend, but we celebrate Miss A, and we will be most definitely celebrating her once she's recognized alongside of the rest of those teachers who have been identified as Teacher of the Year, and also Mr. Murphy. This event will take place on November 1st for the district, but we will be sending out information as far as school-wide celebrations. Again, we're currently, APS is moving forward to 2040, reshaping the future of education. So there have been ongoing task force meetings. Presentations are embedded within, but at the same time, there are still public meetings going on. The last meeting was on October 20th, and the next meeting will be on November 10th. Those meetings are virtual at noon and also in person at 6 p.m. at the CLL building, which is located at 130 Trinity Avenue. And
Well, I'm sorry. I noticed that Miss Kruger had her hand up, I believe.
I'm sorry, Miss Kruger.
Yes, I was gonna ask it at the end. I was trying to, because me and Miss Boston, I had asked Miss Boston about the 8th grade pictures. Because they do the little drape thingy. So I asked Miss Boston if next Tuesday were they doing the drapes, but I heard you say that there's going to be another day. So I text Miss Boston because I just want to get clarity so that I can tell my students too, if they can free dress or if they need to make sure they get their hair done and all that, things like that, if they're free dressing or if they're wearing their senior picture thing.
Okay. The 8th grade portraits are going to be taken on November 19th.
Okay.
So 8th grade portraits will be on November 19th. So school-wide and will be on the 28th. 8th grade and clubs and sports will be on November 19th.
Thank you.
And so
Also-
8th grade, so like you said, if they want to, get hair done, that will be the date for the 8th grade, November 19th.
But next Tuesday, it is uniform picture day or free dress picture day.
You're dressed to impress.
Okay.
So if you want to wear a 3-piece suit, you can.
Okay.
Dress to impress.
Ms. Mccall, I also didn't realize you were going to move forward from the announcements page. I want to make sure that any parents who are listening and Ms. Barnes, who's here, know that the spelling bee season has begun, and they're doing spelling bees by classroom with ELA classes, just to sort of get kids used to the rules of formal spelling bee, to get ready for the grade level spelling bee, and then the whole school, which the grade level is going to be in November, mid-November, and the whole school will be in mid-December with the finalists. And also the student government elections have started to begin. And I know that Ms. Barnes, I don't know if Kiara has told you, but she's applied to run for election. I'm not sure what position, but I know that she and a friend were teasing each other a little bit about that today. Oh my goodness, my battery's running low. So yes, aside from the other activities going on, events, we also have student government elections and the spelling bee. And I have to go plug my computer in because it's about to shut off.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Delnice. And also, I just would like to recognize two partners that we've garnered recently. First, I would like to send a huge shout out and a thank you to New South Construction. If you've had the opportunity just to go outside, they have actually did some updates to our amphitheater area. They repainted the amphitheater black and gold, but at the same time, of course, we want to push that college career and life. So they've also painted some of our tables in the back in alignment with the colors of the Divine Nine or those Black Greek letter organizations. So to New South Construction, I would truly like to thank you on behalf of C.W. Long Middle School. They will be doing some other great things for us. So thank you to New South Construction and also Mr. Murphy for working alongside STEM specialists in the cluster to garner that partnership. We also, on yesterday, received a new partnership from Dodge Sterling United Methodist Church, which is located at 3272 Browns Mills Road. Now, with this partnership, we're going to be receiving supports with youth enrichment activities. Also, this is for our families, family support services, which include the food pantry and homeless resources, also community service opportunities and counseling and spiritual guidance. So I did have the opportunity to meet with them on yesterday. And so again, thank you. We'll be pushing out information to our parents, especially when it comes to the family support services and also the counseling and spiritual guidance. And you don't have to be a member of the church. So if anything is needed, any parents may need any help or resources, feel free to reach out to the school so we can connect you to Dodge Sterling United Methodist Church. And again, to all of our partners, I just would like to say thank you because in the last 2 weeks, Crawford Loan has truly been blessed. And the students and staff will reap the benefits of those blessings that have been bestowed upon us these last 2 weeks. So again, thank you to all our partners for coming out and for reaching out to Crawford Loan to provide support for us. So again, thank you to all of our partners, both new and old. Are there any additional questions? Okay, so at this time, thank you to all of the Go Team members. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to allow Ms. Hall to continue.
Oh, thank you. Now I can pick up at the right spot. Do we have any announcements? I think Ms. Delnice reminded us about SGA, our spelling bee, picture day, all the good things. So we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? All right. May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I
To
motion.
adjourn this meeting.
A second.
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions, please say abstain. The meeting of the Go Team is adjourned at 6:30. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, you all have a great evening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.